Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to take a look at a program called ifstile. It's from ifstile.com. Um, Basically, it is a program that generates tiles, and mostly uh, using just linears. But it is almost like a huge encyclopedia of how to um, get different types of tiles. Uh, if you just go to stile.com, you will come to the main page here. It has a few examples, um, and it also has uh, uh, a manual you can look at. Also, you can watch a video of how to use it as well. Um, you can download the program here with either Windows or Mac. It also has some examples, but I already have it downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And the best way to get started is click on the star here, and that opens up examples. And here you can see a list of all the examples, the main examples of what it has. But if you click on them, then you have a whole list of more examples under each category. So these are all different types of categories, and then there are examples inside that category. Some categories only have one or two. Some have a whole bunch that you can select. There's also, it has 2D and it also has 3D. But we are, for this tutorial today, we're only going to be covering the 2D because as of right now, we cannot save flames for JWildfire. None of the 3D flames work. It just, the developer hasn't gotten around to that yet. So we're going to just be looking at 2D flames. And so if you want to use one of these inside JWildfire, you just can go through and click one example. Let's say I want to try this one. You go up to File, and you save. You can do either you save current, save check, like if I wanted to select more than one, it would select these two. But if you just want to do one, you click Save Current, save it to wherever you want on your computer. But the important thing is under the file name, you want to do a dot flame. And pay attention to the file name here. Here I'm looking at least for the underscore 146. So I typed in dot flame. I am going to save that. Then if we go to JWildfire, we click the load flame button, browse to where we had that saved, and I have it right here for me. I click open, and here you can see it's the same image as we had here. And then we can adjust the coloring and all that. But one of the cool things about these tiles is that then we can play with the coloring. And this is where the fun of doing this really comes in. So I'm just going to pick a different gradient. Let's try this one. Then if we click on the first transform, we see, and then click on the color tab, we can adjust the color and the speed. Now the speed is where it makes it fun. And actually this one, let's see here, based on the flame, some things may not change in this example. So we just go to another transform until we get some changes. Here we go. So I'm on the third transform here. And as you see, as I increase the speed, it is basically iterating the color over and over again. Or not the color, but the shape. So we're doing that with just one transform. So if you see here, we have this shape, and then we have the same shape over and over and over again, which is also this shape. And you can see it over and over again. And then if we switch to another transform, we play with the speed. And so now, you see it's also iterating what we have here and here. But to make it quicker, we can just hit, under the gradient tab, we can hit random color. Or you can click the random speed button. And this will randomize all the speeds in all of the transforms. And as you see here, we have nine transforms. So if we hit that, now you can see how each transform is randomizing the speed. By default, all of the speeds are at -1. So if you want to change it to see exactly what that one transform does, you can. Then of course you can change colors too if you want. And just randomize speeds. Now this is just for one flame. If you go back to ifstile, let's say you really like what you see in this category. So I'm on the Armin Benker category. Let's say I like the one that it has here. You can actually click on this button here to save the entire list. So I'm going to click on that. I am where I want to save it on my computer. The important here is you want to delete where it says the ifs, which is the the extension that ifstile uses to open up projects. But we want it as flame. So just type in flame. Click save. Then we can go to JWildfire, click on flame. Click on load flame. Browse to where we have it saved. And I have it saved right here. And click on open. Now, inside JWildfire, we have that whole flame pack. So we can go through all the other ones that we want. Now let's say I like this one here because I find this shape here with the triangles. I kind of like that. I want to see what it will do with this. So you just I'm adjusting the pixels per inch and zooming. And to move it around, you just enable the view editing mode here. That way you can actually move the image around wherever you want. Go back to the gradient, choose a different gradient. I'm going to try randomizing colors. I might go through, just select a transform at random. See if anything changes. I might be zoomed in too much. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so by changing the speed, you can see we also have these triangle shapes here, here, and it's so basically it's iterating here, then here, then here, and here, etc., etc. And of course, if we could zoom in, it's a fractal that would keep iterating over and over again. So I'm just going to hit the randomize speed button until I get a pattern I like. Try changing the colors. If you want something a little less wild, you can always change the gradient. I like that. And then you can zoom into an area that you like. And also, I'm going to do a screenshot here. I'm going to do a few screenshots. You can also come over here to the Gamma tab, and you can actually randomize the gamma variables for all transforms, which can give you another more color choices and effects. I kind of like that, but now I'm going back to the original one I had before. Then you can also come over here to the gradient tab, click modify gradient, and increase the frequency of the colors, which will actually give more detail and more detail. Or if you want less detail, I put frequency back to 1. You can go to blur, and it smooths out the coloring. And you can see the repeating shapes. And, increase the brightness. Maybe that's a little too much. Actually, that's a little bit too much still. I'm going to bring it down. So you see, the more I blur it, the more it blurs the gradient, and so less variations in the color. You can also try the balancing. If you want some more control over the coloring of that gradient. For really bright colors. Or if you just want a black and white, you can bring down the contrast. And then you can just change the speed again. And as you see, there are, just with one flame, there are literally millions of possibilities that you could probably get with just changing the gradient options and the gamma options. So hopefully I've given you some information that will be useful, and hopefully you have fun with it. So until next time, bye.